Today, we're tracing the entire miracle run of T1 at Worlds 2025, from almost not even qualifying for Worlds, to now standing one series away from completing the three-peat against KT Rolster in the Grand Finals. As always, when it's T1, nothing less than greatness is expected. T1 entered Worlds as the 4th seed from the LCK. Before they could even reach the Swiss stage, they first had to get past the LPL's 4th seed, Invictus Gaming.
It's so hard to win against Faker at Worlds. We have seen players like Gala and Wei do great against him at MSI, Mako as well. But it feels like Faker at Worlds, it's his domain. It's like he does domain expansion, and it's just he gets the auto hit against them. It's so hard to challenge him. It's like his home turf when he gets to this tournament.
See on the mini map trying to come up.
Yeah.
Wei there finishing up the Gromp, level 6 Kiana, ready to make a play, but not going to stick around and force the issue, or are they?
Yep, there's the Pulverize. Carrier going down relatively low. Another Void Rush coming on through there from the Shy, but not enough to take down Carrier here. Gumushi now just trying to walk him down, as there it is once again for Guma. Mako now in a bit of trouble. He has to flash to get himself out of the way, and this Sivir is now very, very fed. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, some public execution. Wei is going to start this one up. Carrier is going to be able to spot it here. Okay. See whether T1 can get themselves into position as Mako trying to get some vision down. Now transformed into Gala for the moment. The Shy on vision, not going to be able to find his flank angle as Doran, you can tell, really wants to get in there with that public execution as Carrier with the flash. Public execution goes wide, and Wei finds the ulti. Supreme display of talent, but it's the Otacon going to Ona. This guy's smite button is something else. And Rookie finds one kill, now looking for even more. This machine gun rise, picks up a double. Gala collects Doran, and now Faker is running for the hills. He's surrounded by IG members, and he's running the wrong direction. See whether they do decide to pull the trigger as the teleport is coming in from the Shy. Carrier wanting to get into position, but the Shy is going to be spotted immediately. Good spell shield as the Supreme display of talent doesn't find the angle, and then Protect the President comes on through from T1. Void Rush not going to be enough, and it's Gumayushi that gets the better of the Rek'Sai. And the Shy may have thrown a bit of this lead away, but IG still standing. We'll see what they can get from this. It's a decent stun onto Ona. He's out of the way, but the side of the shove comes through. Pop loves him. Only onto one as Gala's forced to run away. Such a low health bar. As the foster responds, not quite enough. Rookie goes down. Gumayushi's free hitting, and it's another one for Ona as T1 just make a team fight win out of them up alongside Gala. And the Shy gets into the backline with that Void Rush, but now he's in an uncomfortable position. Decent knockup comes through as Faker's trying to hold them at bay to give enough time to Guma to take down the Shy. And IG back to walking backwards once again, and Faker flashes forward, finds Gala, blows him up, and this should be the end of the game. T1, after losing for the majority of it, just come out on top, and they're going to look to put themselves 1-0 in this best of 5. Unless Rookie can do something miraculous underneath this turret, but he's not going to be able to. The seismic shove, all too set up here for Faker to take him down.
What a way to open up Worlds 2025, Atlas. T1 here looking to finish the job in game 1.
Well, Mako looking to try and fight back here, but once again, just into the tennis racket of Faker, as Wei not going to get thrown back this time, but the rocks will be enough. A double kill for Faker. The GOAT sitting at 4-1-5 at the end of game 1, and it is an ace before the Nexus is taken down. T1 will lead the series 1. Okay, let's see whether he can find the angle, as all of the grubs are going to reset. The Shy farming behind the turret, and so is Doran. So the top laners nowhere near one another, ready to teleport in at a moment's notice, as there's Make It Rain to come down. Cyclone is there as well from Wei, who's just keeping them at bay. Down goes Ona, and that is going to be the Warrior Trickster, but now Doran has found his mark. Down goes Wei as junglers will be traded. The Shy gets into the backline though, as Gumayushi is his target, and down he will go. Faker still trying to find it though, as Rookie will be taken out. Faker gets into the backline and assassinates all of them. Double kill already, and Doran finishes off the last one, as now the Shy cannot do anything. No mana, no hope, and T1 find a much earlier team fight this time.
Whoa,
something goes very wrong.
I definitely agree. Oh.
Okay, Ona going aggressive onto the enemy jungler, as in the meantime, Rookie trying to deal with Faker, now looking to turn it as Wei comes back, and that's just a solo. The GOAT is going to be able to find it as Doran goes all out against Wei. He's now in trouble, and oh my goodness, was that a cast of curse or a cast of blessing? I'm not entirely sure, but the Otacon is going to spell the demise of IG potentially yet again. Has Rookie down for another 27 seconds. They're not out of it yet. Gala is still terrifying, and he will be able to stop Faker from going back home. There is Carrier getting into the backline, the bullet time, and the shutdown for Gumayusi. Doran's health bar is very low, and the Otacon is being frustrating, but IG are just running out of players.
They certainly are. They're also going to run out of Otacon here. T1's going to be able to get it. I mean, the Shy is dancing around, but not a lot that he can do about it. I guess they have to wait a little while.
Yeah. I don't know whether there is anything that IG can really do about it, though, as we do get a knock-up on IG. They take down the Otacon. A comfortable smite here by Owner, and once again...
Here with the 2 items, definitely painful.
Doran. He's going to look for the flank angle. There's a flash Cataclysm to come on through. Finally, the knock-up does come in now for Owner, who goes down to half health. Carrier trying to get himself out of there, and he will! Gumayusi gets a decent amount of damage, but leaves himself exposed and just blows up Wei, who gets on top of him, but that's not where he wants to be. Great knock-up there onto the Shy as Doran gets on in there. He's looking for Gala. The Shockwave does not do enough, but he does take down Carrier. Fake is doing work, though, and Mako is running for the hills. Doran cuts apart this Scion, and T1, it's a difficult comp to make work, but the world champ's looking pretty good with it.
The 3-tiered engage from T1. They will take them down. They will cut IG to pieces. Yeah, Guma, meanwhile, feeling pretty good about his Lord Doms. Doran is going deep.
Yeah, he's got 3 items now completed. The rest of T1 comes on over. That is going to be a solo Shockwave onto the Kazante as the Shy crashes into them. That is phenomenal damage as they take down Gumayusi. The Shy deals with Doran as well, and T1, now it's their turn to run the heck out of there. It's Faker. He goes in, he finds Scholar in the back line, and then just gets shot in the head. T1 are going to fall. That's an ace for IG, who turn it all on its head.
That's going to be Baron for IG as well. T1, they just lose it all up by the top tower. IG, they're going to push top as well as great engage.
As we can see there, 4 items now completed, getting very, very close to just filling out that build. As T1, their base under fire, only a few shots going to be necessary here by this Caitlyn as 2 exposed inhibitors. There's the Shockwave to come on through. It's a decent answer here, as we can see, as down will go into that GA. Trying to answer this one, but you can see Gala is distracted by these structures that he can destroy. Finally, he's going to look for Doran, who just dives away and goes all out. He survives for a long time as Faker looks for the flank, but the Shy is there and says, nope, you are not coming in. And IG this time ain't throwing it away. They are going to even out the series in this best of 5 with a triple kill from Rookie. T1 gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
More difficult here to deal with poke around mid lane, and we see Vi's going mid lane, but Owner's bottom, and they're going for it.
Yeah, Mako's going to turn up here as they're at least looking to gank a plate towards this bottom side, as there is the knock-up, and down goes the Shy. There's first blood for Owner on this Xin Zhao. This is what we wanted to see out of this guy, as now Mako could be in trouble as well, but instead, T1 going to take their prize and back away. Way moving towards this bottom side as we say it. And IG tapping down the wave is Guma, though. And if we have a look at the CS margins between the 2 bottom laners, although one of them is missing, it is pretty close. Another Xenoblade going to connect, but already a lot of damage onto Mako, but Faker is already dead. Owner gets the knock-up and takes down the Leona in trade. Now Carrier and Gumayusi moving in as well. Wind becomes lightning, doing so much work, and the handshake holds onto the Shy. As now IG looking to turn it around. He's going to silence himself. Carrier gets taken out. They trade it for the rumble, then the bailout. It secures Owner his life, and he gets himself out of there. Gumayusi now trying to deal with Rookie, whose way is getting a bunch of work done. The flash forward from Guma, he's crazy. And Rookie's going to be able to get himself out.
Through the river. Owner benefiting a lot, but Owner now under attack. He gets teleport.
He got the crab. The teleport is coming in here from Carrier to try and back him up, and now the grand entrance, the hero's entrance, going to come on through. Justice Punch to catch up to Mako. The bear is thrown down. The Faker's like, you can have my bear. I'm just going to go back to the wave.
Yeah, a little vengeance there from the mid ganks that wants, in a matchup versus melee champ, stacking away, and good experience for it. Wait.
Oh dear, handshake comes on back through here onto the Shy. Equalizer goes down. There's a Crescent Guard as Owner trying to keep himself alive. He gets the smite down onto the Dragon. As now they go in, Wei looking for the engage angle, but the bailout is going to be there. Gumayusi keeps himself alive, and Mako will be able to take him down with the help of of Rookie off to the side. The Shy on no health as Faker will once again claim some revenge. One little Q is going to be enough to do it. And Ona takes down the Shy underneath his. That flash, like you said earlier, is going to turn up. And it's going to be an honest 5v5. The equalizer is there for the Shy. We'll see whether he can layer it in well. As Gumayusi standing in front, wanting to try and find an angle as they are able to take down the Dragon. There's Soul Point, but there is the equalizer down as well from IG. Not necessarily getting the work done that they wanted to, though, as the Bear is going to crash on top of the Rumble. He's the first to go down as Gumayusi grabs a kill in the fight, and it's Doran staying alive for so long. IG, that was not the play you were looking for.
Yeah, that was definitely not it. The Shy walks in, he gets blown up right into Tibbers, right into T1.
Damage on the Zins out isn't exactly the most permanent. Okay, the flash in from Ona, he finds the knockup, they chase after Gala. Redemption, can it get the kill as Hostile Takeover comes on through as well? Gala surviving for a very long time. The flash forward from Gumayusi though puts him down, and Rookie will follow suit. Both carries in the blink of an eye, and this one is firmly in T1's hands now.
T1 won another fight around Otacon, and they get their fight.
Rookie.
That Hex technology is dangerous, Atlas.
It certainly
They warned
is.
us against this in Arcane.
We learnt about it from Arcane. It's now Rookie. Oh no, you should have learnt about it as well. Doran going to be able to finish him off. He's now in an awkward position, but they don't have to deal with the Hui, who's such a problem. Faker finds the angle onto the Rumble, and somehow their most fed member dying turned into an inhibitor turret?
Yeah, T1 are just going to flash on you. Everyone flashing over walls here. Doran flashes in, Faker flashes in, T1, they actually even take, wait, Dragon's going down.
Yep, they were looking for the Dragon here. Hostile Takeover will be avoided for now, but it's a double taunt beautifully placed here by Doran. It is Wade denying the soul, but they also managed to get themselves out. The Hex Gates are going to come on through, as well as Gala is going to survive on about 10 health and get out with the highway robbery. I don't think it's going to save the game, but it was pretty funny as another one comes in and Faker says, yeah, fool me once. Yeah, fool me twice. No, that's not going to happen. As Voltbreaker gets way over the wall, and Ona has respawned and will be able to take down the Vi. Wants to be able to hand the kill over, but isn't going to do so, and will be able to secure it here. Try and force this objective as best they can. Look for some turns. Hexgate's going to come on through here as Ona makes his way over. Gala up pretty far. It looks like T1 are just going to start it. Okay, Rookie gets some damage down onto Faker. Heroic entrance comes on in. Faker survives for such a long time as it's jungler for mid laner. And I think T1 are feeling pretty good about that. No smite left on the Rift, and T1 are back on the objective again.
Yeah, they're going to force IG to come to them.
All right, Hostile Takeover comes through. The immediate cleanse out from Gala, though, who's doing a lot of work. Gumayusi just dives into the front line. I don't know whether that's a good call, as the taunt is going to go wide. Now Gumayusi has to avoid everything as the ulti from Ona. He goes down into his GA, and they take out Mako. I don't know how this is working, but it's looking pretty good at the moment for T1. But the shutdown comes in. The answer from Gala. Over and over again. Total gold, it's going to be Gumayusi in the lead, but Rookie hot on his heels, as we can see here. And Gala getting pretty close as well. The flash over the wall there from Wei, as they're looking to try and take down the enemy jungler, and Wei, there's just no option. He's staying alive for a long time, but there's no follow-up, there's no option. And IG, now just a man down and a smite down for this next fight. Ona looking a little bit lower, but he has that GA back off cooldown once again, and they're on the Baron once more. Doran, is he going to get turned on as Gala does a lot of damage, as you can see there. The Slurkle slows him down, and now Faker looking to chase them out of this river. Hostile Takeover just to buy the space, and the Purple Worm will be the reward. T1 is going to be rocketing towards this bottom side of the map. The Shy going to be spotted out here as the fear is good onto Doran. Takes half of his health bar, and he's still burning. As the Redemption, not actually going to be used for the Galio. He is just going to get sniped here off to the side, and buying so much time is IG. As T1, they still have the Baron, but you wouldn't know it from what we're seeing in this game. As the teleport to bring the Galio back, that might be the opportunity. This could be a 50-50 as Ona in position, but he wants to start the fight instead. They take down the Drake. That's going to be the soul for T1, and Mako limping out as cease and desist is going to do nothing at all. Faker just throws the fire away, and Rookie goes down on the back end, and T1 just steamroll them.
Guma got the soul, and T1 are gonna get the game. The Shy's running, but there's nowhere for him to flee. T1 will walk inside the base.
Yep, they're just going to push this minion wave forward, and it looks like match 4 seed from the LCK will crash down these Nexus turrets and see whether they can, in fact, make it to the Swiss stage and hold on to hope for 3 in a row. We'll take another Nexus going down, though, and IG, they do tend to like it on the ropes. First time Silas.
I think that's what we were supposed to do today. I think that's what today is about.
Yeah, we were just, it was uncroadcast,
yeah,
right?
Today.
So we're allowed.
Today is History Day.
Well, there is that distortion being utilized. It's a fair bit of damage, but now everyone is being called in, and they slam Rookie into the ground. Some grubs should come on through for T1 afterwards as well, but man, Blinken, you missed it, as Rookie is just dead.
That's everyone who has an ult used their ult on Rookie. Carrier didn't because he's only level 4, but everybody
He pressed R though, Kobe. You best believe he pressed R.
He pressed R for sure. He's with you.
Oh my goodness. All right. But it will still be IG utilizing the fact that they didn't press as many R buttons to take 2 of these grubs. One of them did go over to T1 as a result.
Early trade.
I also feel like there might be a Sundered Sky coming in, and that may be even the bigger issue. As, yeah, here's the kitchen sink
Cinematic version.
from the sky.
Ash, Arrow, Ornn, Ultimate, they all collide at the same time. Honestly, kind of impressive that Faker still was in.
All right, we're fighting again, as now Carrier in a bit of trouble, does have to put his Wild Growth on cooldown as the darkness is going to come in, but Carrier already dead. Ona able to put himself in a great position, though, as the Pantheon will be the answering kill, but Rookie on the top side of the map means that Gumayusi cannot play the game. He's taken out, but it's a 1-for-1, and now it's T1 trying to fight back. This time, the Ram is going to connect as the Ziggs satchels himself out and burns to death. As Ona's red buff gets it done. Now Mako not going to be able to do anything. The anchor is cute, but I think that Faker will be able to finish this one off. And T1, they're going to be able to fight back.
Atlas,
Here I can see Orcs.
Oh, they're going for the Shy.
Left as they are looking for the Shy. Can they find the fear? And they will be able to do so. This time, the Shy doesn't have a lot of that funny business available. He's doing a lot of damage, and now the cavalry is going to come in as he bought enough time to allow IG to capitalize on this one. As Paranoia just to buy the space, and we'll see whether it works. He looks to turn it. They take down Gala, and Owner is still alive. He survives through it all, and Wei is going to fall at the same time. The knock up on Mako, he's dead, and T1. Oh my God, Owner, you are an absolute gem. And now the Dragon going to be secured here. That is going to be the second going over to T1. Now surviving at the end is absurd because, like, you just get the Paranoia damage down, your job is done. Great play. The fact that he lived is just absurd. As the Shy has killed a lot of minions, as we're seeing here. The Rift Herald is going to be employed in the mid lane. And now Paranoia comes down yet again. The Shy in trouble once more as the Ram, looking for the knock-up, will be able to find it. The arrow from downtown connects from Gumayusi, and Faker is now able to close in as well. The Grand Skyfall comes in, the Mega Inferno Bomb, not quite enough as Ona just barely limping away. And now the fight is going to continue. Mako trying to throw out the CC. The satchel's good as Gala's bouncing bombs aren't quite connecting. T1 still not able to quite find the fight, and now the re-engage from Mako as Faker is going to get executed, but Gumayushi's the problem. He flashes to create the space, and Gala, they've been ignoring him this whole time. Finally, they're going to move over as he runs out of mana, takes down Carrier, but he will die as a result. And Doran is
Load with the Ash.
and Rookie just couldn't make his way back in again, so Gala kind of left out to dry. Now the Otacon has been started by IG. This has been a point of contention for this team. We'll see whether they can make it work this time around here in Game 4. Man, this is feeling like they're throwing the gauntlet as now the Paranoia comes down. Doran finds a huge knock-up, and the AoE is massive. The wild growth absurd by T1, and their team fighting is just too good, ladies and gentlemen. Gala keeping himself alive, but there are too many people here. Rookie finds the clone of all things, but the Otacon will stay up. And T1 did lose two in the process. Can Rookie do it? Can he be the hero? but he cannot.
Doran back in. Faker and Keria are flanking them. There's the teleports coming in. It's actually answered here by IG as well.
Oh, Gala gets executed. Faker finds him in the brush. He thought he was safe, and honestly, so did we, because there wasn't the vision as Doran slams his head into the wall, but he is so incredibly tanky. The flash out from Keria to avoid the re-engage, as Rookie is doing a fair bit of work. Doran doesn't have damage himself, and now the Shy has made his way in. It's another hook connecting, but Owner is also respawned. Ladies and gentlemen, Doran will be dying
Nocturne
in this fight, but yeah, we have Paranoia coming up very, very soon. And the Ash Arrow is 8 seconds away. I do not think it's Otacon time. Please let me breathe.
No way, buddy. Let's keep the action going. T1, they approach, they fire.
As Gumayushi's going to find it, and Rookie's going to get punished once again. It's being in a brush that's going to be their downfall, and it's Keria that's able to get the last hit, but Gumayushi is kiting like a madman. Another wild growth. And
they find the engage. Guma here with the Ash Arrow re-engages, sets it up, and the Otacon this time will be do that one more time and actually take down Keria, punish the no flash.
Ooh, good spell shield there from Ona. Gonna deny the hook in as Faker distorts his way back again. The knockup gonna go wide from Doran, who flashes away. Now the Ram is going to show his teeth, but that's a brilliant stasis to come on through. Ona goes in, he survives for so long, way too long. Wild growth comes in, and it's Gumayushi with the damage. Why is this Nocturne still alive? Ona, you absolute monster. The inner turret's gonna go down, and I think this is the end of IG, and T1 putting the end to the LPL has started early this Worlds.
T1 will have every member alive to assault the IG base. Scala trying to defend, but it's no use.
And the Ziggs that was their Achilles heel is finally going to be taken down, as T1 will make it to the Swiss stage to defend their World's title.
Well, we certainly ended the series with quite the bang.
After a convincing 3-1 victory over IG, T1 officially locked in their spot in the World's 2025 Swiss stage. Their first matchup, FlyQuest.
Versus Doran up in the top side in the meantime, as Busio ready to follow up here. Gumayushi now in some danger. The death realm has been unleashed, and Whippo's going in after the T1 AD carry. Gumayushi's about to get taken out, but he gets away on a magical journey. Whippo's chase is overdone, and it's first blood to carry his bar.
Do that play on the top side with everyone. Owner's trying to make the most of it with a blue steal.
Yeah, he wants to get it, but Inspired has the better smite. Now Busio using the Pop Blossom, tries to find enough, but instead he only finds his way into the grave. Another kill of a T1 as Inspired has to try to escape with the Weaver's Wall from Faker. Wants to lock him up. Inspired wants to sidestep the seismic shove, but no way! 3-0 T1 as they claim
T1. And outperforming in the skirmishes, and now it's resulted in all 3 of these outer towers down Flower, so there's not a lot of room to work with for FlyQuest. The map is quickly going under T1 control.
All right, T1 trying to force their way further into the enemy jungle, but the Realm Warp into the immediate Pop Blossom. It finds Owner, but nobody else. Now Gumayushi under a little bit of pressure here on the side. Inspired goes in with the Cataclysm, but Busio's first to die. Owner still trying to get away. Flashes into the brush to buy a little bit more time, but a KT and Rain gets him. T1 still got more men. Quad in the middle of everybody, and he's cut down by the blades of Gumayushi. Whippo's in the death realm for a little bit longer. He'll take out Keria, but what about afterwards? There's no way to survive. A triple kill for Guma, and T1 team fighting takes them down.
Masu's still here, but the rest
Not
of the
for
team
long.
need extra kills. They increase their gold lead. Here we go, another play for FlyQuest.
Yeah, Inspired stepping very far forward here and about to die. The Cosmic Binding as he gets back over the wall. Buys enough time for Faker to take him down. Yes, there's a Pop Blossom, but T1 has already won the fight. Busio goes over the wall, and Quad goes back to the spawn platform. Masu's next. T1 are just playing better. Back in the mid lane, Whippo at least tries to find something here in Gumayushi. He's got him in the death realm. The feathers fly, but the Xayah dies. A shutdown to Whippo, but Doran's not gonna let it go unavenged, as Whippo is the last to fall, and T1 get an ace for 2.
Out of there with his spellbook, and they actually just pick him up on all sides. Though, Whippo got the shutdown onto Gumayushi.
Well, that's something, but they're going to need a whole lot more. Keria getting caught out here a little bit, but where's the damage from FlyQuest? Tempered Fate doesn't really get anything here. Third and Tofo strike. Knockback into a knockdown. Inspired's out of there. And T1 continue the push. Masu gets slowed down. Pop Blossom onto 2 to buy a little bit more time. But it's a double kill for Owner. Meanwhile, Doran trying to create a little bit of space. Does end up dying, trying to kill Masu off. Quad on the side. Tries to use Realm Warp for the escape and gets away. Gumiyushi's going to die to Whippo. But now he's in the back line. 1v3! He gets a double with a mace to the face. Now a teleport coming in from T1. It's Doran looking to cut him off at their own tier 3 turret here in the bottom lane. The Weaver's Wall delays Quad and Masu, and now Doran stands between them and safety. Whippo's trying to help out his team as Quad looks to turn it around. They found a route on a Faker, and Quad takes him out. FlyQuest continues trying to get away, but Owner has arrived. His clone Cyclone kills Inspired, and Quad barely gets away over the wall. Owner's still looking as Whippo has to flash. Masu continues to run on the third, and Tofo strike doesn't hit, but T1 still has the push.
T1 chasing them across the map, and now they're inside the base. Flowers finally. 24 kills to T1, and they will be able to take the inhibitor.
Inhibitor number 1 is down, and T1 is not done. Really have to pick their moments carefully on how they want to step up. Lucio clone walks past the control ward. No seismic shove to find any value here just yet, but the Baron is spawned, and T1 is ready to start it up. Dorman and Carrier are going to be running interference, and Owner and Gumiyushi just melt this thing. Weaver's Wall won't allow FlyQuest anywhere near it, and T1 has already claimed the objective. Now Whippo's got to try to stay alive. Pop Blossom finds Faker. Gumiyushi's already killed Bucio. Masu flew into the back line, but he crash landed, and T1 tears them apart. FlyQuest thought they could take that fight. They thought they had to, but T1 would not let it happen. It's a clean ace, and they're on the game-winning push.
Yep, Carrier takes care of one tower for his second, and the rest of T1 arrived to finish the job.
FlyQuest had a tall task, and they could not stand up to the moment. T1 prove why that number 4 seed title isn't what it seems.
In round 2, T1 faced off against CFO.
Now it's Junja.
Hello, Doggo! He just solo killed Doran.
We need to get a replay as Doggo starts off the game with a solo
Let's
kill.
look at another lane. Hang on, baby fake.
Let's look back at this. So he's about 50% HP right now. Doggo smartly, as Doran comes into last hit these minions, lands those auto attacks while dodging away from the tower shots. Another auto attack comes through. I mean, at this point, you'd think Doran is just going to go back to base. Oh, the tunnel gets interrupted.
Stand aside.
Beautifully played by Doggo.
In the LCP finals, this guy on Kiana's not too bad. Honkyu's found out in rotation. He'll get phase rush, he'll get out of there, but Doran finds his prey, jumps in, but maybe too deep from him. Honky flashes over. It's matched by Doran, but Junja looking for the trade kill. Will find his mark over the wall as well, and Doran just trying to run on out. A tunnel used, but Junja again can tear a shape, but there's another tunnel. There's always another tunnel. Takes a big trade, it's heavy. Gumiyushi holding on to the ace in the hole for now, but there's a Vault Breaker mid. Honkyu face checked and he'll be punished for it. Miasma on the ground, nowhere to run, and Owner is back in the game.
An easy gank setup by T1. CFO, they're saying they can still contest this. Doran has come down from top side.
Junja's also got ice as well. Supreme display of talent will find one, but no steal on the Dragon. That's up for Gumiyushi. And as they take it, they run away. His driver has decided to launch into Doran, but he's just an instant blocker, and T1 walk away with the win on objective.
The Rise ulti.
We are going in. Driver's going to stand there. Decimating smash. Baker's down. Junja also going to help out as Doggo ran into melee and started hitting the Void Queen. It was so sought after, even being on a bench for a bit. Faker might be in trouble here though. Junja's coming up again. He's really earning it this time around. The 3-0 Kiana knows that Faker's into a corner. Pop Blossom helping out. Carrier's flashed in. Maybe there's a turnabout play. Junja has to hold the in. Jumps to Faker, but he gets shut down. Carrier saves the day. It's a double TP, but there's more numbers here for T1 as Driver has walked into the ongoing trap. Honkyu now walks into range of Owner, and CFO had control, but they're relinquishing it. A triple kill for the slippery snake of Faker, and T1 punished so damn well as Gumayushi gets flashed on. Doggo's still got the spunk. 3-0 on the Draven. He needs to step
Doggo
up.
on the right-hand side. Keep your eyes on him.
Driver wants something to drive into. Decimating smash just out of range. Doran flashes, misses, whiffs. Meanwhile, Ona went in by himself. T1 is separated. Driver cuts off the cross, and KT picks up the kill. T1, they're sparked up a little bit with an ulti that came afar from Doggo as Doran jumps in deep. T1 are fighting one by one, and I see a double on a damn cow. Realm Warp in behind enemy lines, and T1 are finding themselves hanging with a leg to stand on. Petrifying Gaze misses all, and CFO are bringing it to the world champs.
The young guns from the LCP play with nameplates off as they go full aggression into T1. Disconnection being shown by T1 as their focus was just off. Doran doesn't connect onto Doggo.
A petrifying gaze from over the wall with the Cassiopeia without flash. You mentioned that TP, that's going to bring numbers in. 4 members of T1 on look now. KT gets over the wall, flash from Honkyu, gets the double root, and there's KT for the follow-up engage. The cow unleashed, Pop Blossom does nothing. Driver misses, but Faker is there when he lands. Down goes the snake, or just about. They finish a kill. It's Doggo who gets more money in the bag. Doran now isolated, has to go back in, but the supreme display of unholy talent. Junja on Kiana is just exceptional.
CFO are punishing T1 time and time again. Anything flashing in their face, looking for the outplay. They secure the Arakan, they get a tower.
On Honkyu, who burned his flash in that last play, but Faker, as he takes a long way around, will eventually find him. I was going to wonder as the root comes through. There's the phase rush. Noxious Blast still connects with the Twin Fang in the follow-up. Ace in the hole. Redemption coming in. And here he is again! Here he is again!
From the Rek'Sai means that he was able to get away, has the TP available as well.
Oi, Junja over the wall, but no! Onto Kerry as a spell shield holds on for the time being. Pop Blossom finds him. Kuma gets the trap down, but it's out of range. TP burnt by T1.
A whiff there from Junja. The ulti doesn't throw Carrier into the wall, which means that the distance is enough to allow him to escape. It's a trade of ultis, but that was a big ulti.
Gets Tangle Bubs, ran up and Drive interrupted! Drive interrupted Ona! There's no sprint play talent as Faker sets up the ulti. It's a shutdown on the Honky, but it is a trade. T1 lose one to gain one as Driver, even though he picked up that kill, he might have saved the play. Tangle Bubs, 2-man once again. Doran jumps in, Doggo goes far, up midway, flushes away. There's the ulti from Doran, but he's got no one to support him again. Doggo running, goodbye! As Doran only just managed to get out, Driver somehow dies before T1's top laner as Kerry and Guma hold the fort around mid. Faker's low.
It's a fair. This dragon looks completely uncontested.
Doran.
Junja though, Junja.
Hang on, Junja goes over the wall, wants to contest with Ona in a 2v1. There's a supreme display, and he has the audacity to take it away. So, for CFO, stand beside us, find a target. The rest of CFO are in the river for the time being. Honkyu has to be careful without his flash. Ona doesn't hit the target. He's on Doggo though, but look, he's separated. He has to leave. Now Doran's sent into the sky by the one and only Driver. Faker stands and starts poisoning, sending out the fangs, but T1 have lost top lane. He will fail, but for now, CFO hold off on that Baron thought. They're looking for Ona. Junja's the one chasing him.
Look at Faker, though. It's so difficult to start this objective off. He's in the river.
But KT takes a flank a little bit early. He's going to lose Celestial Blessing. Tangle Barb's there as well. Guma stats up and tries to hit him hard. He's got the ulti available. Guma tries to walk in. CFO backing off is still so sketchy.
Junja,
Game's not over until Junja runs in the river and says, "Bet." He runs back, sets that up, but it's a double. Doggo is just nuts as well. The CFO have now got 2 in the dirt.
They're just going to start this Baron off. It's still a super risky thing to do. Doran is max HP. Faker is coming back from the river. Guma with his rage. Keep your eyes on Kaiwing, looking for the flank.
Driver is low as well, but he's got a shield. Doran once again on in. Guma with the range to steal his potential, but no. Smite is better. A Realm Orb into Guma's face, but he's spaced him, he's ranged him, and Faker stares him in the face. However, the pop back is massive. CFO are doing it, and even with the ulti avoided by Doran, he's down 2, and in the LCP.
And this team, it feels like that they can only go up with the Baron now secured. The Nexus is in their eyes as they look to try and break the base.
Look at Doggo, he just got Doran, now he's taking a 1v2. You know where this game's at. Ow! This dog, man! It's 6-0, Betty. What a game. Gets away with the help of a heal, and CFO supporting staff are coming in. Carrier, though, a clutch defense. Petrifying Gaze, though, won't be enough. as Driver's always where you need him as well. Against T1, CFO, get a bit of revenge. And the first team going 2-0, but at least in my eyes, CFO smacking down the LCK's fourth seed as Baker runs back to the base, but this game's done. I see one delicious looking oyster at Worlds 25.
That loss left them sitting at 1-1, and in round 3, they were up against none other than the tournament favorites, Gen G.
Doran is pretty healthy himself though, Owner looking for an angle, Carrier as well, blast cones denied as Guma has to try and come in. But for T1, they don't have their 80 carry, he's separated towards mid.
All right, flank around the side from Doran. Oh,
Guma Carrier, three-man pulverize almost. Ruler disappears as well, but Faker, as he jumps into the whole team, makes a crucial mistake. Doran now comes in, gets a flash out of Ruler, reposition from Gumayushi, a five-man cyclone. Owner finds the angle, but it's too late in the fight. Gen G have annihilated T1 as Guma runs for his life, but he's tagged once again. Gen G have 4 members on the run, and Guma is left alone. This turret won't withstand, and it won't get a kill in return, maybe, as Chovy, no! Command protect! Trying to survive this early game and get through to Gen G somehow.
They certainly do. All right, T1, they started up, but Keen.
The angle, the flash, Euro finds a wall, and Doran can't ult to get on out. The dive-in's easy, and Canyon sets up Ruler for success.
Oh, Duro, that was beautiful. They just destroyed. Doran is deleted, and nobody on Gen G even has a scratch on them. Okay, Duro's got a little bit of a scratch.
All the setup again, Duro goes in deep, but Owner already getting chunked out alongside Carrier. Atakan at 5, the dive in there as Canyon once again finds a new target. Carrier burst down, the unbreakable will was finally broken. And with Redemption coming down, what do you say? A shockwave into Guma, Duro given a wall, a double for Chovy as Faker finally gets something back for T1, but Atakan just fell. There's Gen G coming in from over the wall, Faker's got no mana to survive, his weirding isn't weird enough, and as Ruler takes him down, it's Owner tagged out by Canyon, the jungler's picked up the Manamune, or rather stacked it fully. Carrier comes in, no time to talk about items as T1 look for the pick. Onto Canyon at half HP, Owner jumps in, but his ulti comes first, Canyon survives, and Doran's coming in, but interrupted. This puppy pick was a stroke of genius. There's no vindication for Guma, none for T1 here, as they are getting destroyed by the LCK champions, stamping their foot back at Worlds. Faker will disengage, but Canyon, Duro have more in the tank to flash forward. The shockwave was still available. Chovy is gapping the GOAT of League.
I think he went the more damage focus. You know, we have been seeing a lot of Seraphs as well on some of the Orianas, but the Horizon focus buffs as we're getting more action.
Brave Carrier turns it into an engage. Owner as well, Cyclone a chance, but a disengage from Duro. It's Keeper's verdict, kept good. Doran jumps in, maybe a chance here for T1, but with that dive comes Canyon to defend. Guma trying as hard as he can, but as he takes down Ruler, he takes down his chances of finding anything more. Gets around the corner. Keen is soloing mid. Here comes Owner. Again, the Ambassador followed up as well. A chance there, but the shockwave nullifies everything. Ruler willing to Valkyrie forward. He knows this one's in the bin. Gen G are the LCK's best, and they just showed it again to T1.
And Ruler at Worlds flashing the Samsung Galaxy flare as well.
Kobe, it was well-deserved, it was well-played lanes, it was Gen G returning to form as they moved to 2-1 at Worlds 25.
Ooh, Ruler wants another championship.
After falling short, T1 were now just 1 loss away from elimination. Their next challenge in the best-of-3 survival match, 100 Thieves.
But up in the top side, it's Doran and Owner looking for the dive onto Big Dokes, and it's first blood over to T1.
Much about it, realistically.
Well, we'll see. Right now, he wants to step forward, try to clear out some of that wave a little bit, but Doran immediately popping the Dominus as Owner's ready to try to show up. Dives in with the audacious charge. Public execution from Dokla. Owner's going to die to the turret shot. Dokla stays alive for now. Doran's going to try to pick this one up a little bit, but Doran's going to die as well. Big Dokes! 2 for 1 in the top lane.
Really nicely done. He forces Dorian to use the ulti early, but Faker is gonna get solo killed by Quid. 100 Thieves are coming to life. Now he's the one in the driver's seat. Ayla's up here. Dorian could be the one getting dove.
They want to give Doran a taste of his own medicine. Ayla's going to lead the charge. He makes the dive for the headbutt pull. The flash coming out from Doran, but the exhaust ready to follow. And 100 Thieves make boots out of that crocodile. They
Absolutely are. We can see this one more time. The seismic shove is there, but Quid gets the Q slow, flashes in, kills him with the King's.
Off, their positioning is good.
Okay, nice little bit of poke coming out from FBI. TP coming in. Rift Herald summoned up. Looks like we might get a Combat Herald on this one as the Weaver's Wall. Nice use there from Faker. River still looking for the opportunity to try to go in and steal. Quid off on the bottom side. Rest 100 Thieves going in after the Drake. They're going to steal it away. Carry is about to die to Quid. He falls. Quid takes the kill as the rest of T1 scrambles to try to fight. Solar Flare's not going to find much. Owner takes more damage from FBI. Faker looks to fire back and FBI's going to be caught by the seismic shove. Owner takes the kill on that one. 100 Thieves in full retreat. Doran on the chase, but he's already lost the dominance. Stride breaker on Ayla. Owner goes in for a double kill. T1 take the fight and they aren't done yet. Quid tries to escape. Owner wants to win, becomes lightning, but he can't quite make it strike. He jumps in anyway as Quid wants to sidestep the seismic shove, but he's still taking a ton of damage. 100 Thieves has overstayed their welcome, and Quid cannot use his Kingslayer in time. T1 may lose the Drake, but it's T1 immediately deciding they want the objective. They've already got it down to 1/3 HP. I think 100 Thieves might be a little bit late to the party. Nice Weaver's Wall coming out from Faker. River wants to go in and try to steal it away. He got it! 100 Thieves steal the objective, but what about the fight? T1's already taken out the enemy jungler. Ayla might be next to fall. Gumayusi gets the kill, and Dokla's next on the chopping block. T1, they lose the objective, but again, they get 3
He's
kills.
reclaiming space in the area. Quid's looking to steal a good ult.
T1, 2-1 in Drake so far. Dragon down to half HP. 100 Thieves on the approach. The Weaver's Wall has been separated. Quid in the middle of everybody. Xinjiao LT stolen. Quid gonna be focused here for now, but he's still staying alive in the moment. Carrier taken down to about nothing. Dokla! The back line. He wants Gumayusi, but he can't find him. FBI's under pressure, but he stays alive as well. Both top laners out of the picture. Dragon, 3k HP. Redemption coming in for 100 Thieves as Owner tries to jump forward. Now he's gonna be your target. River's next to fall. The Drake goes over to T1. Quid jumps back over the wall. He wants the abduct, and he's lucky he didn't get it. Owner of 1 HP. A double kill of Gumayusi. A piercing arrow over the wall from FBI. There are dead bodies in both jerseys all over the Dragon Pit. And now Faker is looking for more. He wants another rock here onto FBI. Onto Ayla. His seismic shove will not hit. Gumayusi coming around to try to help him. Ayla's next to fall. It's a 4 for 2.
But he's yet to die in this game. This Corki is a monstrous Quid. He face checks.
Yeah, Quid face checking right into the brush. He's gonna get punished here. Remember, he still has the arm guard, but the chain CC. Quid's alive, but only at 50 health. The Silas is the target, and T1 has already found him. Carry is gonna be focused down by 100 Thieves. Gumayusi under pressure from River, but T1's already found a double for Owner. Gumayusi low. Dokla needs to get the kill, and he finds Gumayusi. Dokla flashes back over the wall. Faker wants to take him out, but he doesn't have the damage. FBI gets a double as Owner falls. Needs to try to approach this. The Baron is dropping again, down to half HP already. Owner over the wall. River has been winning the smite fights here so far in this game. 100 Thieves looking to peel away now as Ayla charges in for the headbutt pull, but it's not going to connect. Ayla now going to be the target here with Redemption coming down, but Carry is first to die. 100 Thieves already have the first kill. River's going to the back line. He wants Faker and Guma. T1's killed River, but what about the rest of the fight? Quid into the back. Faker staying alive, trying to kite him out. Dokla with a little bit more damage, but he's down. 100 Thieves overstep, and T1 takes a bit of poke there, so they'll feel okay about that one, but again, it's nothing that's going to change the game. Quid goes into the middle of everybody. He's shielded up with his Xinjiao ulti. Into the back line goes Dokla. Carry is under threat, but Dokla doesn't have the damage. He's going to be knocked into the resurrection here for the Guardian Angel. Quid has to keep making a little bit more space as Dokla tries to retreat. Gumayusi goes in, and Dokla is down. T1 managed to survive the dive. They outplay 100 Thieves. Elder Dragon targeted by T1. They've got a 5v4. Quid's only at 40% HP. Ayla focused down. He's dead immediately. T1 have their first kill. Quid wants to take Carrier, but it's not going to matter because Doran's already killed FBI. T1 on the victory push. Doran Doran goes over the wall and Quid has to flash away from Solar Flare. River and Quid in full retreat. T1 in hot pursuit. River trying to juke with a bit of a clone prank, but it's not going to work well enough. Quid is already dead. Faker has cut off River's escape. It will not matter that he has Guardian Angel because the Angels are not listening. T1 will stop 100 Thieves' chances dead in their tracks. It's a 5-0 delayed ace. Dokla's back to life, but the inhibitor is first to fall, and it's only a sign of things immediately to come. The Nexus turrets will melt. 100 Thieves fought hard, but T1 is T1, and they are not gonna fall in this first game. 24-16, they'll take game one.
Be really difficult. Ayla's trying to wrap around here on Owner, make sure that he can't actually walk up for any chance at a steal. But T1 can just play mid. They're just going to actually knock down this tower here. So yes, they will lose the Herald, but here comes River.
River jumps in, Gumayushi immediately into the ulti. River tries to follow him, but the hero's entrance locks up the enemy jungler. And T1 takes the first turret. They take a kill, and now Quid is trying to come in to take revenge. Owner is your first target. He's down to 200 HP. He tries to get away with the perfect execution. Lives up to the name. Quid gets it done. Nicely played there from 100 Thieves.
So they invest their resources into mid,
They're
but
gonna
now TP top lane.
Faker in a little bit of danger here. Equalizer to slow him down as he tries to escape. Dokla's got to be careful chasing after this. Quid has no ulti on the Akali. Faker trying to make his way all the way out. A beautiful shockwave. Dokla's down to make it a 1-for-1, but 100 Thieves for Faker as well. He has the Seraph's Embrace all the way involved. Quid going after Doran here, going to allow the taunt to expire. River ready to join up. Yes, Doran is very tanky against magical damage, and he failed the flash over the wall. The Galio now with the hero's exit to get away to a nearby ally, but Quid tries to follow here with a Shuriken flip. He goes in for the perfect execution. He's trying to still find the kill. Doran dies, and Quid's got the fancy feet to guarantee it. Oda wants to get away, but a flash 5-point strike hits all 5. Quid dies to the shockwave in retaliation, but it's a 2-for-1 for 100 Thieves. All right, T1 going after the Drake. 100 Thieves on the approach. T1's already got it down to 40% HP. Doran keeping Quid away off to the right side pincer as the Infernal Drake is secured by Owner and T1. 100 Thieves not there in time.
Yeah, River really wanted to finish a second item, so he does do that, but then you're allowing them the free soul point, and now they're going to engage.
Yeah, now it's a ton of damage. Back onto River. The shield cannot protect him in time. Quid wants threat onto Gumayushi, but he doesn't have enough. Pop Blossom's not going to stop him. Ayla into the middle of everybody here with a Magnet Storm. Carrier might just die to Quid, but FBI's already been executed by Owner. Ayla's next to fall. Double kill over to Gumayushi. Carrier dies, but it's so many dead on 100 Thieves in trade. Only Quid and Dokla are still alive as Quid tries to escape into the enemy jungle. Owner's got an eye on him here with the sweeper. Quid still trying to get out, but Faker's shockwave will seal his fate.
He only kills the support, and T1 just fights forward through the rest of the team.
Faker in an awkward position here.
Yep, tagged by the first Electro Harpoon. Exhausted now as he tries to fight back. Owner swooping in to protect his mid laner. Meanwhile, FBI's in danger. Killer Instinct defensively. Faker burning down. Dokla burning down. A little bit more damage from Flame Spitter. Isn't going to get it done. Faker finds the first kill back into Dokla. Gumayushi under pressure. He tries to sidestep away. A massive outplay from Gumayushi defensively with the feathers to buy a little bit more time. But he is shut down by River. It's still 3-for-1, favoring T1 as Quid and River are trying to...
Area is there.
All right, first inhibitor turret already down. Into the back line goes River, but into the front line goes Carrier. Pop Blossom. FBI's already down, and Ayla's going to follow. River dies to the back line of T1. It's 4 dead already, and with only Quid alive, T1 is ready to end this game. The shockwave will not find the Akali. Quid will waste as much time as he can, but it will not matter. 100 Thieves left it all on the Rift in their final series of League of Legends, but the winningest team in the history of the game will not be stopped.
T1 held their ground and survived. Now, only one more series win stood between them and the quarterfinals. Their final Swiss opponent, MKOI, representing the LEC.
Likely gonna have to flash here. Lockham's there, might not get the chance. Doesn't even try to get over the big wall. MKOI with first blood.
It's the good karma. Draco's coming back for Ayoya.
To survive. And that's the bot lane prio paying off. Of course, for now, T1 have an advantage of their own, and JoJo's pretty far up. Waterblade ready to go for Owner. JoJo's been continuing to step into Faker, but he just does not have any health. Phase rush, he's going to get him out for an extra second, but Owner Just finishes the kill off.
The individual laning phases, small wins for T1.
Going in, immediate knockup, because it's not going to stop the pushback from the Emperor's Divide. JoJoPune running, but Owner happy to grab another carry on the way as well. Instead, going to turn his attention to the wave. Elyoya finally here.
But spotted going, hang on, where is this Kiana? She has to be on the bottom side, but JoJo
finding out firsthand exactly where Carry is. Lockdown coming in. Q-Flash goes in forward for Dorn. Pushback coming through on the Pathmaker. Pulls him out of the Redemption. Knocks him down. Owner picks up the kill. Killing Redemption, but instead is just going to opt to reset. Herald used in the bottom lane as Owner finds Supa. Face first, pushes him back to the wall, immediately CC'd. Flash forward with the Shockwave. Excellent teamwork, but Owner's still going to be able to find his way out. Now Guma's moving in. Ulti is going to connect, but it's Elyoya who body blocks. Elyoya with the Crescent Guard, but the snipe from Guma. Dead center right between the eyes to find the double as MKOI are now on the retreat, and T1 take the fight in the river.
The MKOI carries tried to combo, but it's T1 who were able to find the fight that they want.
Herald for Otacon, a damn good deal for T1. Supa, powerful individually in terms of what he could do in a fight. What he did do in the end, nothing. Stunned, finds a bit of a lockup, isn't able to finish the kills.
Just ever so slightly ahead now. MKOI tries to improve, force their way in through the mid lane. Faker is separated.
Hot Charm is there. Lock up on Owner, but he goes invisible for a brief moment. Now he's pulled him to the death realm up against Mir when Ulti is really going to do nothing, but Owner's still able to retreat for now. Alvaro taken down. Owner coming over the wall, going to pop out in a brief moment. Wants to get the grass blade, doesn't have time. That's the shutdown, but it should be Supa uncontested. Instead it's Carrier coming in with the pulverize, and now it's Elyoya versus the world. He goes in on a Faker, but there's too many people. There's not enough sky to sunder. There's nothing left to guard. JoJo wants to make the difference, but Guma grabs it. Three-man Shockwave. He just doesn't have the damage yet. He doesn't have the items. JoJoPune keeps him low, but Dorn wants to keep going. Q3 ready to pop. Pull through on the all-out. Looking for the Pathmaker to confirm. Tries to predict JoJo, and it just doesn't work. Dorn looks like he's about to fall. Nice sidestep on Guma's Q, but Dorn just barely able to walk away.
It's the Canadian mid laner trying his best, but it's Faker who's better and snipes him out.
I don't even know if that was necessary.
Be that Fearless exists.
A lot of cooldowns missing. Redemption to get the health bars back up. Alvaro needs to backstep. Big damage. Dorn going unstoppable for a moment. Q3 pulls him back through. Elyoya in the midst of everything, but Dorn getting lower. The tower not quite enough. Supreme delay. Talent coming in. Owner still standing for an extra second. I think they've overstayed a bit, but it just doesn't matter because they're not hitting Faker, and he's got more than enough damage to finish the job. The super minions are here too. It is long, it is drawn out, it is only getting more difficult, but Doran remains standing, T1 remains standing. They've only lost Carrier. The Nexus exposed.
The defender's advantage is not really looking like an advantage.
Finally gonna end the game, Rob. They took their sweet time. They wanted a couple extra kills. The icing on top of this game one cake. Faker looking for another, the double to finish it. T1.
Here, Gumayushi isn't able to match Supa. Early first blood for MKOI.
And again, that's part of the reason why we've seen this matchup before. In the 5v5, Sivir can be a powerhouse, but in the 1v1, Vayne so strong here early on. MKOI now looking to keep that advantage going, but it looks like T1 may have caught them out. Double knockup coming in for Doran. Owner now on the chase. Elyoya needs to get the hell out. Mirwan not doing much to interrupt. Double flashes. Elyoya trying to get fancy with the footwork, but it's not nearly enough. Concussive blows continuing to stack, but Mirwan now needs to leave as well. Flash over the wall to Sage, but Carrier immediately falls with the Zenith Blade. Now it's Alvaro knocked up. The solo on the top side immediately counteracted by T1 in the bottom lane.
Fights, and unfortunately for MKOI, you've got T1 who are winning elsewhere on the map. Getting this drive.
Nope, he's
the Rek'Sai license.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it top 8, but did you get the Rek'Sai license? I'm not so convinced. Faker doing a good job of trading here. Nice sidestep on the Noxious Blast. JoJoPune needs to get out. Hasn't hit the Noxious Blast, so doesn't really have the movement speed. Conqueror procs. Faker happy with just the flash. Elyoya moving in. The pillar's going to be big here. Nice initial lockup on Supa as he tries to step back. Alvaro doesn't have the Unbreakable quite yet, and they're starting the retreat. Owner getting good chip damage down to Elyoya. The flash still keeping Elyoya alive. Keep your eyes on that Realm Warp. Hand delivered, but he's already been stunned. Owner locked up for a moment. Wants to turn on to Elyoya. Tries to finish off Supa, but down he goes. Dorn arriving just in the nick of time. It's the double knockup. Guma goes over the wall, and he's looking to clean up house. Mirwan's still standing, but he doesn't have the ultimate because of the play earlier. T1 firing
just starting
back.
to drift further behind, and Gwinsu's Rage Blade is a big item spike, but we don't get there.
Exhaust onto Elyoya, locked up, all the CC leverage. Alvaro looking for the disengage as Dorn's off to the side, has been caught by the Condemned. Guma flashing backwards, already used the spell shield. It's Mirwan in the midst of the entire team. Fall with the Petrifying Gaze. Supa's still untouched for now. Slowly they're chipping through the health bars, and Dorn's about to fall. That's the Silver Bolts proccing. Blinking health bars across all of MKOI as they start to retreat. Guma, Faker, still alive. The Realm Warp available. T1, do they want to chase?
Public execution of Mirwan, he's going!
We're gonna go back on Guma. Guma with a perfect spell shield, looking for the follow-up as well. Still standing for a moment, but Elyoya goes right in, looking to chop a bite out of Guma. Supa gets the kill, but Faker untouched for now. Again, MKOI playing on the edge. Owner about to be hand-delivered. Elio looking for the angle with the pillar. Extra movement speed for Jojo. He's not going to be able to escape. They turn back onto Owner. MKOI still standing.
Just going to go down because they're trading this for Dragon.
MKOI presumably know this is happening as they set up around the mission. For them even to group here is going to be a wave of minions. They fail here, they'll only be even further behind. They're betting it all on this play. That's the solar flare, but no immediate follow-up. Lock up onto Jojopyun is good. Doran going in as well. Jojopyun flashing forward. They're looking to take out Guma in the midst of the entire fight, but another knockup coming in just in time to keep Guma standing. Mirwan taking him down and moving back out of the fight in the midst. It's the Owner taken out as well. T1 ready to come in with the Realm Warp, ready to turn it back. MKOI though still 3 members strong. Doran debating where does he go? What is the angle for this fight?
Supa's lost the ultimate though. He's now way more vulnerable in this fight, and Doran wants to go for it. No flash available for him though.
Elio and Alvaro need to protect Supa. So much damage can come out of this vein, but if a single piece of CC connects, there's likely little they can do to stop any further damage. Heal comes in from Alvaro. Objective getting lower. Knockup coming in from Doran. That's Alvaro taking out of the equation. And Faker's now on the hunt, looking to zone Supa out as well. Elio needs to take away the dragon, needs to deny the soul, and he will do so. Still standing for a damn long time, but not enough to turn the fight. Faker, Doran, Keria, too strong. MKOI might get the objective, but they lose just about everyone.
And the Baron is still a target here for T1.
Their own towers. And on the hunt, available. MKOI overcommit here. Oh, you'll walk face first into Guma. Lockup is there. Ulti connects from Alvaro. Nice petrifying gaze. Kick things off and down they go. MKOI with one more fast play. One more pick, but this time they want the full fight. It's Doran splitting off. In the meantime, MKOI immediately turned back. That's to get them right back into the wall. Lockup for the concussive blows, but the tunnel's keeping Doran standing. All of T1 immediately retreat. They want nothing to do with this. Doran will be sacrificed. T1 punished.
Flashless Gumayushi.
To contest this Drake. Doran off on the side, isolated as well, taunting, threatening, trying to distract the members of MKOI. Flash forward from Jojo, completely whiffs. Owner immediately turns right back. Alvaro tries to find the disengage. Lock up onto Guma, does not come through. Mirwan cannot find the angle. Supa still standing for now. Knock back into the wall is good, but Owner wants to take down the bait. He doesn't quite have the damage. Supa still standing, but the rest of MKOI are starting to fall. He splits back into Mirwan, tumble back into the back line. Knock up from Doran. One more ferocious bite, but the Gadam says not today. Supa standing, but here comes Faker.
Faker finishes off Supa and holds the game for T1 in his hands. It looked like Supa might have been able to hold it, but now with the Dragon Soul in T1's favor, what looked like desperation in the fight may just crumble before them.
Time to play slow, to ease into this. Faker flashing forward, trying to get more out of Jojopyun. Jojopyun taking his time. The petrifying gaze only going to connect onto Owner. Immediate exhaust to follow up. Doran looking for the knockup as well. And just now, Supa's finally able to join the fight. The Realm Warp going to bring only a few minions. 5 members grouped for MKOI.
Super minions in the base as MKOI start the Elder. They need to find this fight now and quickly.
TP there for Doran, and he's immediately going to use it to go to the base. He wants to threaten the back door. MKOI don't have great tools to respond to this. T1 just need to keep the pressure on, and Doran will end the game. Owner with the knockup to keep things going. Keria there as well. Rise with the Realm Warp. It's Faker and Guma alongside Doran to try to end it all. Mirwan doing his best to hold the line. TP coming in for Jojopyun. They're not going to be able to cancel it. Mirwan, Jojopyun, they need to make this work. They don't have the angle. Guma with a perfect spell shield is still going to remain standing. T1 move on to the top 8 at Worlds 2025. MKOI are sent packing.
After grinding through nearly every possible match in the Swiss stage, T1 punched their ticket to the quarterfinals. The draw placed T1 against AL, one of the strongest remaining opponents outside of Gen G. Historically, T1's record versus LPL teams at Worlds had been a flawless 11-0, but this time, AL pushed them to the absolute limit.
Second Drake, they want to try to keep stacking here. Keria disengaging as AL's on the approach. T1 grouped up as 4. The Drake is down to 2,000 HP. Faker joins up with everybody. It's a 5v5. They go in immediately as Doran tries to lead the charge with a blast estimating smash, but he's only going to be beat down himself. A lot of damage on the Doran, but he is not down. Keria into the back line. The major engage from T1. Tarzan finds a supreme display of talent and making a 1-for-1 so far, but T1 have the health bars. Faker rides the Weaver's wall as Keria's about to die into the back line, but Kyle falls, Tarzan falls, T1, they'll lose Keria as Gumayushi fights back, and Shanks is on the run. Faker and Guma looking for a little bit more with a piercing arrow going over the wall, and Faker's ready to flash. Another rock is thrown, and Shanks is buried. T1, 4 for 2.
For T1 is pretty early.
Yeah, for AL, it has to be a way of finding a bypass to Doran, but Flandre going in.
Yeah, Flandre goes in for the flash. He wants to try to find Faker here. Needs a little bit more damage. Ulti to drop the aggro, and Shanks gets the kill. TP coming in from T1, but it might be a little bit of a problem. No, Doran has the ulti. That to also be a huge factor.
And we've got Otacon here. T1 pushing on top side, trying to set up around it very early on. Again, the flashes will be critical here.
Oh, Hope goes forward, but immediately Carry is ready to try to respond here with the grand entrance. Hope tries to get over the wall. He sidesteps the seismic shove, but the damage from Owner is way too much. A big mistake from AL, and a bigger punish from T1. Tarzan goes in! Supreme display of talent under 3, but there is no follow-up. Tarzan has to try to flash away. Owner goes after him, but now he's trapped. Shanks with a little bit more damage, kills off the T1 jungler. The Realm Warp's ready to go in, and Shanks wants another. The arrows fly out as Doran charges in. Shanks with a flash to the side to avoid the engage coming out from T1's top laner. Doran's gonna try to run. Another arrow flies out from Gumayushi as now Carry has got to be careful as he battle dances in and out of the fight. Doran then gonna crush the tunnel. Kael, half HP still, gonna use Redemption early here for AL just to make sure the health bars stay topped off. Flandre marked on the side. Seismic shove onto the AL top laner. Chain CC onto Flandre, he's already down. T1 have found the pick. Supreme display of talent, tries to hold the line, but into the back line goes Owner. Hope is being chased. Tarzan's being killed. Anyone's legend is being crushed as Shanks tries to fight back in a 1v4, but he'll get nothing but an epitaph as T1 kill 4 and take Soul.
T1 go fishing and they find Flandre. They pick him up and they decimate AL in the team fight.
Hope is trying desperately to hold on, but T1 are chasing.
Baker's riding the wall in. Hope's gonna be the last to die. A delayed ace for T1.
They're gonna start to move down here. They will spot out Hope, but do they know AL are in the bush?
AL trying to set some kind of a trap. They know a fair fight doesn't favor them any longer. Kael gonna be trapped on the wrong side of the Weaver's wall. Seismic shove connects onto Shanks, who immediately goes golden. But it's gonna be a 2-for-1 deal. Supreme display of talent at least takes Carry out in the process. But T1 have still won the fight. They're gonna keep pushing forward. They've got the Baron, they've got the Soul, they've got the enemy tier 1 turret down. They've got Owner diving into the back line. But the escape is there for the rest of AL, starting up the Elder Dragon now. T1 watching on, waiting for the rest of the team to approach. Elder Dragon down to about 1/2 HP. Hope taking a chunk of damage. Dora charging in. Weaver's wall over the top. Kael's gonna be caught. A ton of burst onto the support of anyone's legend, and he's already down. T1 charge forward. Double kill to Gumayushi. Pressure onto Tarzan. Triple kill Guma. AL are cut to pieces, and T1 holds the sword. Flandra's last to die, and ace for T1 will be the end of game 1.
Great force there from T1. They use their wallets and they destroy AL at the Dragon one more time.
Doran putting the last touches here on the Nexus turrets. The Elder Dragon is claimed, but there's no one left to execute. The game was quiet. The game was close for so very long. But when it came down to the clutch, it's T1 who prove why they are the reigning back-to-back world champions. They out-team fight AL, and they'll take the first game in this best of 5. Okay, creeping around from behind. Trying to time this so Owner can be in position right as the wave is ready to crash. They don't want to allow Flandre to try to clear this out. Cannon Minion going to absorb it here with a star. Wind becomes lightning. Flandre with a flash away. Doran going to burn him down, but he needs a little bit more damage with the flame spitter. The turret was so heated up, it makes it a 1-for-1.
He's in the experience he had, but Flandre has hit level 6, eyeing up Faker on the Anivia in this mid-wave.
He's looking for that public execution, and he finds it. Faker gets jumped on. Flandre going in, trying to proc the rebirth, and they get it. They've scrambled the egg, and there's the feat of warfare for anyone's legend.
Faker did not
his ricochet, excuse me, bouncing through the wave to stop Gumayushi's back as Doran goes in from a ton of damage here with a Flandre. The public execution plus the flash to try to get away. Flash Electro Harpoon coming out from Doran, but no! It's Flandre with reinforcement from Shanks for the shield.
So good for AL, but Guma finds the cash in with the ult from the opposite side of the map, and now AL, they need to be careful.
Yeah, AL's got to be careful here. Kael gonna have a nice keeper's verdict to make the fight unfair. Carry is your first target. His owner wants to go in after Kael now. Loses half his HP. Boomerang Blade takes Carrier down to 150. Faker making his way forward, but T1's not gonna find anybody. They also using the teleport now. Doran coming up behind him. The Rumble's already arrived into the fight as Tarzan tries to find some damage onto Faker. Shanks looking to cut him off. The egg, again the rebirth is triggered. Flandra's made his way into the fight, and Gumayushi goes back over the wall. Tarzan kills Faker, and T1 is on the run. Keria dredgelines back to safety as Shanks dives in beside Kael. A double kill for Tarzan. And
Trying to scope out the area as that goes.
yeah, Keria jumps in here with the dredgeline, finds Tarzan, but to no avail. Kael jumps in with the point-blank keeper's verdict. Shanks has arrived. They're looking at Gumayushi, and they find the taunt. Guma's already down. T1 are routed as they try to escape from the pit. It's a 2,500 gold lead for anyone's legend, but nobody's here just yet. Otacon already down to 5,000 HP. Tarzan goes in for the Cyclone. Shanks ready to arrive with a grand entrance. Tarzan's low, and the Whirling Death's gonna find the execution. T1 still fighting back as the Otacon is slain by Owner, but he dies in the middle of the fight. Public execution finds no target. Gumayushi on the run. Hope, Flandra, and Kael still looking for a little bit more. 3,000 individual gold lead for Hope as the 80 carry here with a Sivir. They're moving into the enemy jungle now, and Kael again just slams Owner into the wall, but now he's in danger. Tarzan and Kael both so low, it's 2 dead on the AL side, but Hope is still alive. Faker flashes back over the wall, but Shanks is burning. Flandra caught in the middle of everyone. Anyone's legend have overplayed their hand, and T1 is ready to punish. Hope should be next to die, and Guma cashes in. Only Shanks still stands. That could have been the entire game. A dredgeline from Keria, and Owner is ready to follow up. The wind becomes lightning and strikes Shanks down. Ace! As a clump, as 5 towards the bottom side of the river. AL looking for the approach. Tarzan wants to flank, and he flashes over the wall. Now Faker's gonna try to get away. Hero's entrance knocks up 3. T1 trying to scramble. The damage comes down, and Flandra flashes back over the wall as Owner's first to die. T1 on the run. Kael wants a wall slam, but he can't quite find it. Hope goes in for Guma, and he cuts him down. AL 2-0 in the fight.
The game back in their favor. That fight, that flash from Tarzan, the TPs though.
Faker jumping into a spot that he should not be. He doesn't get slammed at the wall, but he's far back enough that he cannot stay alive. Hope runs after Doran. The auto attacks cutting through the rumble. A little bit more is needed, and a little bit more will be found. Keria presents himself on a silver platter, and it's AL eating good. Ace for the LPL squad. As Anivia, he can take care of those super minions. Everybody else groups up to defend the only remaining tier 3 turret, but over the wall goes Tarzan. Faker's got to try to stay safe into the back line. Public execution onto Faker. Redemption's not there in time. The egg has already been procced, but he will not be reborn. A kill onto Owner follows. AL's already found 2, and they want Gumayushi. Doran and Keria will be next to die as T1 are wiped off of Summoner's Rift. Anyone's legend with a clean ace to win game 2.
The Panda Warriors are coming alive in game 2 and showing that in Shanghai, this city will belong to them.
Lane as well, and Faker is getting dangerous.
Yeah, Faker walks too close to the brush. The deadly flourish right after the EQ coming in from Tarzan. Faker still on the run. AL thinking about going further. There's your fate sealed. Shanks goes in. First blood over to Hope.
Anyone's legend collapsed onto the mid lane. T1 have put. This is the style of play that Anyone's legend were so well renowned for, but Hope under pressure now.
Yeah, Keria wants the pull, and he finds it onto Hope, who immediately tries to get away with the bomb right over the top. They take him down. Gumayushi gets the kill.
Taking this one kind of slow.
Okay, both of our junglers have their Sundered Skies available. Proto Belt also completed for Faker. T1 starting up the Drake, have it down to half HP. Kael, Tempered Fate, trying to save his jungler. Tarzan survives for now, but T1 is bringing everybody to the show. Doran in the middle of the Cataclysm. The stolen Tempered Fate. Tarzan's already down. Kael's about to die. T1's found 2. Shanks is in the middle of everybody, and he has to try to get away. He wants to charge Q3. He gets over the wall for now. Anyone's legend has already lost their jungler. The side of AL as the Dragon is already down to half HP. T1 trying to decide where they want to go. They're staying nearby for now as Faker throws out the Tempered Fate to slow down the Drake a little bit. AL secures the Drake. They try to defend the tier 1 over in the mid lane here at the same time. Ulti from the Aurora keeps the structure standing, but Gumayushi has the satchel to complete the trade. Dragon for AL, tier 1 turret for T1.
Yeah, T1, wait a second.
Nice Tempered Fate there, flies out from Kael, and now they're looking to go in after Keria. The Mega Inferno bomb's not gonna matter, and AL get the free pick.
With item spikes and also that ult advantage.
Yeah, it's the 2-item power spike on everybody that's not a support, for everybody except for Faker. Tempered Fate, no target connection there, but AL is going all the way in. They want Gumayusi, who already gets away, so they're going to switch over to Keria now instead. Owner trying to fight back as Shanks is in the middle of everybody. He snaps back. Keria dies first. Immortal Shield Bow keeps Shanks alive as AL are now continuing to retreat. Kyle and Shanks very low. T1 goes forward. Tarzan with a dunk, but he's only going to steal his own fate. Gumayusi barely holding on, but he burns down. Faker with a kill on Tarzan. Owner chases Hope. The Jhin getting away for now as T1 have lost their bottom lane, but they've killed 3 in response. Faker after Flandra, who has to flash away. Owner flashes to try to catch him with a ball breaker. Flandra needs more distance, but he cannot find it. Abscond, abduct. Says Faker now has to run. Does provide a lot of value when the soul fight is coming, but if Faker can't get away, this could be very problematic.
Yeah, flash immediately into the binding. Tempered Fate right after. Faker trying to get away. Goes golden to buy himself an extra second. Through the wall they go. Tempered Fate from Faker, keeping himself alive as Doran's under the back line. Hope is under pressure. Faker's still alive for now. Hope gonna be cut down. Doran going in and Faker's already cut down first. Hope next to die. It's a 1-for-1. AL's in the middle of everybody as Tarzan has to try to get away, and Carrier's gonna be focused, but he finds a pull over the wall beforehand. Flandra pulled in, but Doran shut down. Gumayusi over the wall with another satchel as Tarzan wants to find a little bit more, but he dies. Gumayusi and Owner working together as Guma dies to Shanks. Owner wants another. Flandra needs to get away, and he hops between worlds. The Abyss can't chase him down. Flandra gets back over the wall, and Shanks is ready to flash. Owner will get knocked into the Guardian Angel. Carrie is the only one left alive, and that Guardian Angel will not hear the prayers of T1. The challenge. Faker with a teleport ready to join up as immediately the engage comes out from Tarzan. The target is Keria. The Shanks seal finds everybody. Thanks to the back line as Gumayusi tries to get away. He's scattered, but he's knocked down by Tarzan. Faker scrambling as Kyle and Hope chase after him. Doran's going to be the next target, and anyone's legend have forced the world champions back.
What an engage from anyone's legend!
The gold lead now back under the command of AL. They've got the Dragon Soul, the Elder spawning in less than 1 minute. The binding into the wall does not connect to Kyle, but now T1 is overextended. Owner's in the middle of everyone. That's your jungler right before Elder, but the TP is a mistake from Flandra. He's shut down already. Owner's Guardian Angel will not save him. It's a 1-for-1. Tempered Fate collides onto Doran, but he's unstoppable because of Pathmaker, so he gets away.
AL, such an advantage.
T1 trying to approach. Doran's gonna be the point man, trying to make his way in there as Gumayusi continues to throw bouncing bombs. Elder Dragon down to 3,000. Fate Seal cuts through, but the stasis gonna lock everybody up. Tarzan's gonna be your focus. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top of the Elder is secured by anyone's legend, and they're continuing the fight. Faker is about to be executed as Doran falls too. Anyone's legend is murdering T1. Curtain Call fires out. Most of the bullets won't find their target, but they won't need to. The final shot in AL. They have to try to distract. Owner jumps into the middle of everyone, but the Elder Dragon will roar with the might of China as anyone's legend forces T1 to match point and takes game 3.
But there's so many members on the top side of the map for T1, and they don't know Doran's here.
Yeah, Doran's still there. The call of the Forge God. The paranoia over the top. Hope tries to get away with the flash, but he's still caught up in the fear. He waits to use the cleanse. Hope locked up by the Ornn, but he gets enough distance. AL staying alive for now. Kyle and Hope both get away. T1 goes in. Gumayusi with a killer instinct, but Hope still lives underneath the turret. Doran's going in with a Bellows Breath, and it's first blood over to Keria. Kyle tries to counterattack with Zenith Blade, but he does not have what he needs. Doran now the target. Shanks doesn't hit him with a chain. He's got to try to get away as Tarzan wants to kill Doran. Shanks still in the back part of the fight. Tarzan with a 3-man impale. T1 still trying to fight as Faker arrives in. Shanks down to 150, and the blooming burst from Keria gets him. It's a 4-2 game, 8 minutes in, and T1 purchased the Kainic Rookern. I have seen the shield break on Doran's health bar. He just goes up, he gets bonked a little bit, but now Tarzan is looking to change that around. Nice use of the Bellows Breath, but he is pulled back by the claw from Flandra. He tries to get underneath the turret. Doran flashes away. Flandra does secure the kill, but now he's got to get away from the turret. His teammates coming up to guarantee he survives from mid.
T1 forced back away from the Herald.
Yeah, I like that. You immediately just drop it. Just immediately leash the Herald for T1 because Faker can finish this bottom tower and then teleport in, and they do.
Yeah, Carrier's going to be the target here from Kyle, but he's not going to go in any further. Blast Cone gets Kyle back away as Doran tries to escape. Tarzan punches him a couple times, but again, that's a very tanky Ornn. Herald's going to lose all patience. The Herald as AL approach. Flandra's going to look for a target, potentially here for the Death Realm. Herald down to 4K. Claw hits 2, but Flandra can't get any closer. Owner wants to take the objective. Paranoia's already gone out. Herald secured by Owner as the Ornhorn comes in, but only finds one. Carrier locks up Hope. Gomayushi into the back line, and the AL AD carries already down. Owner tries to flash away. Doran in the middle of everybody, but Flandra barely stays alive. He should surely die right after the shield falls, and Owner kills him. Kyle's on the run. T1's on the hunt. Everybody on AL's dropping, and T1 are absolutely demolishing the LPL team. Tarzan tries to dig through the wall. He'll barely escape, but it's Rift Herald plus 4 kills to the side of T1.
Even Guma lived.
Shanks thought that Atakan has already been started by T1.
AL charged with a nearly impossible task. They are going to walk forward. They are going to see the Otacon started. They're bringing in the teleport. AL have to send some sort of a Hail Mary play here. Tarzan jumps in, only finds Doran. Carrier looking for the Pop Blossom. He only finds it onto Kyle. The Ornhorn flies through and Hope is already down. T1 have found their marks, and they want even more. Owner is smashed by Flandra in the Rift Herald pit here at the same time as Faker stays alive, and they cannot quite do it. Finally, they get the shutdown. AL's winning the fight. T1 may have overplayed. They may have overstayed. AL find their way back into the game. Flandra chasing after the lone survivor as the Otacon will be taken by anyone's legend.
AL, they deleted Carrier and then
Nico, teleport coming in from the AL side. Also T1 ready to reinforce. Ornhorn sounds off. Doran goes in. They're going to knock up Kyle here at the very start, but into the back line. T1, Faker under pressure. The burst over the mid laner. They found him, but Hope is also already down. Shanks next to die. The Arcane Storm is a Typhoon, but AL is fighting back. More damage to Gumayushi. Flandra wants him. Flandra can't find him. The mace will not connect over the wall. And now Tarzan goes on a killing spree. AL are winning another fight. Doran locked up. He gets away with a teleport to stay alive. T1 takes the Drake, and now they're ready for the 5v5. Doran summons up the Ornhorn. They're going in after Flandra. They want to focus the Mordekaiser. They've got him locked up in the CC, and Faker strikes him down. AL have lost their strongest player. Tarzan whiffs the Impale, and Owner continues moving forward.
Have to defend the Baron. 4 versus 5.
T1 going after the big objective. Tarzan wants to step forward here, try to find a little bit of poke. Kyle and Hope now. A nice catch from Doran. Hope is already down. Tarzan has to retreat. Ishtal's impact through the wall. They can't slow him down. They can't lock him up. T1 back onto the Baron yet again. Owner down to 25% HP. AL, they're going to have their top laner back up here in 5. Carrier on the flank, off to the right, ready for the pincer attack. T1 going to pull off the Baron. They do not want to allow it to get low enough for Tarzan to try to steal. Doran jumps in, knocks Kyle up into the air. Shanks going in after Carrier, wants to stop him. Ornhorn through the middle of the fight, and once again, Flandra's going to get focused, but he is not dead. Big impale from Tarzan. A lot of damage comes through. Carrier dies before the Pop Blossom. Flandra in a little bit of trouble now, but he's still fighting. The shield keeps him alive, but T1 is too strong. AL running now. They've lost 2. T1 have only lost their support. It's both supports down. Flandra, the extra man dead, means T1 win the fight.
Yeah, they melt the front line. Shanks is actually creeping around, but there's not much he can get. He's looking for an angle onto Guma.
If he can find Gumayushi, that's the angle. That's the only way to win it, and there he goes! Shanks with the hero play as Hope tries to escape from Doran, but the Bellows Breath takes him down. Tarzan wants to get away from Owner, from Faker. He can't quite get there. He's feared up. Shanks nearly kills off Owner, but a beautiful spell shield keeps him alive. Shanks is trapped inside the gravity field, and Faker takes him down. Tarzan on the run. He's the only one left alive from the original fight. Kyle has finally respawned. Faker and Doran are going to continue the chase now. If they can get a delayed kill on this jungler, they can almost guarantee themselves either a Soul or a Baron, and that's exactly what they're doing. Tarzan will not be allowed to dig through the wall. The Arcane Storm silences him as he tries.
There is nothing that he can do to get into the pit.
Exactly. It's free Baron for the side of T1. It's still 10 seconds before Tarzan is back on the Rift. Victory, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. The Mountain Soul belongs to T1 34 minutes in.
It's a MasterCard priceless moment as T1 pick up the Mountain Soul, and that mountain feels insurmountable
for T1. How is a LeBlanc supposed to burst through all this extra durability on these T1 members? It's going to be very, very difficult. There is also a Skarner flanking on Vision. Tarzan's just going to keep going though, because
to Tarzan, but it's not a lot. They don't need a lot, they just need time to chip away at these tier 3s. Doran with a bellows breath to get through the claw. Flandra loses half his HP. The Mordekaiser's gonna be your target. Here goes the Ornhorn. They knock Flandra up into the air, but again, nobody under serious threat. Tarzan with an impale onto one, but he's about to die. He flashes away. Guma flashes in. Carry with a 3-man Pop Blossom will seal the fate of anyone's legend. Guma with a triple. Guma with a quadra. Only Flandra stands. Gumayusi finally dies, but AL will die with him. T1 will not go quietly. They will force down the Nexus turrets. They will move to the Nexus, and they will take us to Silver Scrapes.
But it's bot lane that might be in trouble.
Yeah, Gumayusi and Keria having to back away. The zap does not connect on Gumayusi. Tarzan down here in the bottom lane. Guma wants first blood onto Kyle. It's going to be secured by Keria. A 1-for-1, but Hope gets the money.
Guys like Tarzan and Kyle, who AL played through for so much of this split. Oh, Tarzan though.
Tarzan with the Arctic Assault trying to get back into it now. Shanks could be the one under pressure, wants to fire back into the T1 lines. Owner flashing away, staying alive, but there's the Glacial Prison. Only connects under the tank, but Flandra's arrived into the fight. They fight too! Anyone's legend got exactly what they were looking for. Faker at least gets one back, but he falls as well. Anyone's have to be a bit careful. Flandra here on the side, he's gonna find Doran, who finds him, as now the Solar Snare finds Tarzan, and T1 are moving forward. They charm up the enemy jungler. Tarzan's already down, but Doran dies. Hope is excited, but where's the rest of the fight? Keria tries to get away, Gumayusi right beside him. Flandra here on the front line as Owner's gonna be chopped up. The Mundo dies, Hope's on a killing spree. Flandra going forward, but Faker takes him out. Hope, Shanks, and Kyle trying to get away. Guma, Keria, and Faker stepping forward. The Otacon, it's impatient, but it's so close to dead. It is stolen away by Faker himself.
Mel wins those every time.
Continuing to step forward. Gumayusi trying to stay very far back. Goes for the arrow. He finds it on Shanks. AL's mid laner is under pressure, but he gets away for now. Doran creating space. Dragon at 40%. Tarzan still nearby, but so is Owner. Dragon losing patience. Flandra's World Ender is about to expire. Doran still here on the front line. Hit with the Q1 of Flandra. Owner at about half HP. Shanks looking for a little bit more. Dragon at 2K. Glacial Prison fired out, but it's claimed. The soul for T1, but Owner has already died. AL have got to find more unless they want to lose the game here. Doran takes a ton of burst. Scout of the week, the damage from the unleashed power. Shanks has another kill, and Tarzan is chasing after Faker. He gets the smite for the slow. They're gonna find another kill, but it's Hex Tech Soul for T1. 3 kills to AL, a 2,000 gold lead, but Baron's not on the map.
It's not quite up yet, but anyone's legend getting more gold into their pockets. T1 getting the Hex Tech Soul. It all comes down to this next couple of fights at the Baron.
Out of the week, but there is enough distance and the shielding from Keria to make sure that there's no follow-up from AL after.
Still, I like this from AL. See if they can find those picks. See if they can play off a Vision. That's some damage onto Owner.
Yeah, they're going to commit onto the Doctor. Mundo! Shanks has killed him. Owner is dead. You want to talk about clutch moments? There you go. Tarzan and Flandra going forward. Faker's going to be caught. So much damage from AL. Faker about to die. Shanks in a rampage. Anyone's legend 2 huge kills. Yushi, 3v5, if nothing else. They need to stop the Baron from going over to AL right now. Shanks on the side, no ulti available for the Syndra here just yet. Tarzan over the wall, wants to go in after Keria. Infernal Chains are going to connect. This Seraphine is down. Tarzan is traded, but Doran has died too. It's Gumayushi against T1's Legend as he tries to kite and fight, but he's stunned. Good night, but kill for Shanks. Into the river, they're taking total control now. Hope wants to grab the red buff, and Flandra needs to get back out and join up with the rest of AL here for the fight. Red buff secured. Elder Drake started, but so slowly. Flandra gonna move forward, try to clear away the control ward. They're going in after the Aatrox. They set him up with the arrow. Flandra has been caught at a critical moment. Over the wall goes Tarzan. Wild Growth coming in from Kael. Guardian Angel will bring Flandra back, but where is the damage on AL's side? Doran into the back line. Kael is already down. Doran killed in response. T1 pushing forward. Shanks the next kill. Hope trying to kite. He needs to get away because T1 have won the fight 2-1.
Flandra is trying to reset and teleport back in. He's trying to link up with the team. The minions are here. They need to turn it. That's the teleport.
Okay, T1, they've got to understand this. Aatrox is probably their target. Flandra arrives. Solar Snare looking to lock him up. Owner taking a ton of damage. Hope is excited. Flandra's got the kill. Solar Snare on Hope, but it's not going to do any more. Flandra's going to try to get away. Goes back in here for the Q1. Tarzan wants to engage on Gumayushi, but he cannot find him. Flandra over the wall, wants Faker, can't get the damage. Hope can't do it either. Gumayushi's still alive. T1 out team fight T1's Legend. Team Syndra, there's just not an angle. And now, with the Elder in their possession, you would have to think that T1 is going to take a stroll up into the top side of the rift and add Baron to it.
This now becomes a game of delaying, of trying to deny T1 from taking down the Nexus. Having both of these buffs means that they can tear through anyone's Legend.
With the power of the Elder, they've got to secure this one. AL, what are they even going to do? You have to try and turtle and wait out these super powerful endgame buffs now.
The Elder, the Baron, the Soul, the Otacon, every possible advantage you could have in League of Legends.
Salt the base. Here comes the push. Baron empowered, Elder empowered. T1 are on the warpath.
T1 just going straight to the enemy base. Tier 3 turret doesn't stand a chance. Inhibitor knocked down right after. Tarzan and Hope.
LPL right now. The hope for AL.
Well, it's gonna need a lot more than just some hopes, some dreams, some prayers. They're gonna need this Elder timer. A second lane of super minions. Doran guiding the top lane minions up now as well as the second inhibitor falls. And T1 are looking for the end of the game. The Elder's got 15 seconds left on it. T1 guiding the Baroned up minions toward the Nexus turrets. Solar Snare not hitting a target. Flandra and the rest of AL scrambling to try to defend. Nexus turret's down to about half HP. Owner takes some burst. Tarzan takes more. T1 looking for the engage. They found Flandra, but he gets away. Half HP on the front line of AL. T1 pushing forward. They've made their way on the Nexus. AL scrambles to defend. Doran can't do it. History is written by the victor.
After a nail-biting 5-game thriller, silver scrapes and all, T1 triumphed once again, advancing to the semifinals. Their next opponent, Top Esports.
Remember that because he had to skip his bot side camps to try and steal, he's now late to these Raptors. Keria is here with Ona, and Kanavi has no idea.
Yeah, Keria jumps forward, however the grand entrance does not hit Kanavi. Owner still continuing to try to contest here for this Raptor camp. Does secure the large Raptor, but now over the wall. It's Cream ready to go in. He wants the kill, and Owner's the focus. Cream goes forward, but he cannot find enough damage just yet. It's Kanavi grabbing first blood here for Top Esports. Summoner spell, but that's all they're going to take for now. Kanavi's the only one continuing to tank the Otacon because they do not want the debuff on everybody else on Top Esports. Doran making his way up through the river. 369 with a third in Tofo strike primed. Top Esports looking for something here. It's Doran jumped on immediately. However, he's into the death realm. He's going after Kanavi. He wants to take out the enemy jungler. Top Esports, they're trying to get him away. But as soon as the death realm ends, Keria's quickness begins. And Top Esports have already lost their jungler. They're about to lose their top laner. 369 wants to go all out, but Gumayushi and T1 are all in. Hong trying to escape as Cream's got some fancy acrobatics, but he's not getting anything. T1 out-team fight them, and they'll take the Otacon.
Kanavi is given no position, no purchase, as Doran isolates him in the Death Realm, and after taking out the jungler, taking out 369, T1 will turn their attention towards the Baron.
Engage is gone. Jackie Love and Hong can't actually get into the fight because they're zoned by Gumayusi and Faker, and now Faker has caught Cream.
Faker going in after this Akali that's been trying to put the pressure on him all game long, and once more, it's Cream, the one who loses his flash just to survive.
The kill.
You just sit on top of the little Christmas light and press R as soon as it returns to a champion. Well played there from T1, now over 2,000 gold ahead. And my friends, we have 45 seconds left until the Cloud Soul spawns. Hong in some danger here, has to flash away. Carrier ready to go after him again with the quickness. Feet of Warfare finally claimed at 27 minutes by T1, and they are just barreling down the bottom lane. Gumayusi gonna get healed up by Redemption, but no! Cream's already got the assassination. He dies in response as Kanavi continues spinning forward, looking for a little bit more. The ricochets from Jackie Love. He needs more, but he can't find it. A double kill to Faker as
a little scary for T1 on the bot side of the map. It felt like that Jackie Love had really woken up in this game, but Kanavi once again isolated. Shockwave.
Shockwave from Faker to burst down the enemy jungler. Kanavi has never found his angles in this game after that first blood. Cream of the wall wants something. They'll give him a burial. Gumayusi with the kill. 9-3 for T1. Everything Top Esports tried early was completely canceled, and T1 is showing them how to make plays now. 369 just trying to escape some of the damage. He's the only one alive for a game that had one kill at 24 minutes. T1 are about to end it. 30 minutes in. Respawns are not even here. 369's the only one left, and they want to try to grab the ace on the way out. T1, it was a slow burn, but it's Top Esports being put to the fire. T1 just going to pad the stats and take game one. Both injured, however. We'll see if they want to keep looking for a little bit more, because Faker is also here with a hero's entrance. The Jarvan Galio Wombo combo could be exactly what T1 wants. There are no teleports ready on the Top Esports side to try to reinforce this. Hong's going to be in some danger. Hero's entrance is first blood over to Faker, and it's 2-0 T1.
Clean.
A massive point of power there for the Corki, but it doesn't look like he's arriving to the Drake here in time just yet. Carrier wants to get away. Nice use of the pillar there. Takes Carrier low, and now Owner has to flash out. Flash bubble attempt. Not going to get anything back there from Hong. He misses that as Gumayusi now has to flash away too. It's a ton of damage coming in as Carrier is already dead. Jackie Love killed in response. It's Feet of Warfare claimed by T1, but Doran's got to try to continue getting away. 369 looking for an angle. Possibly. He goes to the public execution. 369! Damn, that's fine! He finds Gumayusi at the very edge of the fight.
369, flashless, no ultimate, keeping this wave out from the tower.
Yeah, he wants to stop the minions from arriving, but Carrier's got the Pop Blossom, and it's a dog pile top lane. Vengeance for Gumayusi as T1 has a lot of health.
Top Esports knows something is up. They cannot find Owner, and they know that's an issue, but it's misses on the ult.
They wanted the public execution. They can't get Gumayusi. 3-man Pop Blossom from Carrier, and Jackie Love's dead again. This time, his friends might just go with him. Gumayusi needs a little bit more as Kanavi chases forward onto Doran. The Trundle needs the kill, but he dies to the Cataclysm. Cream locked up by Faker. It's a Justice Punch to the jaw, and Gumayusi knocks him out. Triple kill for the Kaisa as Hong's a fish out of water, and T1 get an ace for 2.
Top Esports try desperately to catch anyone on the side of T1. The target is Jackie Love. He trades his life to take out the AD carry, and then it's cleanup for T1.
It does not feel like LPL's day.
Difference is just the blood of Top Esports being poured off the side of the graph.
Doran has found Cream.
Wants to go after this Rise. TP coming in from the side of Top Esports. T1 ready to respond with one of their own. Doran down to half HP. Owner wants a little bit more. The teleport is a little bit late to arrive from Faker, but it's still just in time. time, T1 send more men, and they get the double kill because of it.
It was a 2 versus 1 that turned into a 4 versus 2 as Faker Zhonya's.
Faker walks right towards the brush, but he's got the reaction time. Top Esports wanted to find their moment. Carry is wrapping around from the side. He wants to cut off the escape. Pop Blossom on 2. Doran chasing after Hong as Jackie Love is dead again. And Doran cuts the enemy support down. Only Kanavi is alive to tell the tale. And T1's got to fight back at the draft when we saw the Kaisa locked in. Never mind, we don't have time. Jackie Love going after Gumayushi, who sidesteps the public execution and kills Jackie anyway. 369 wants the damage, and Guma's finally going to be shut down. But Top Esports lose their top laner. Now Owner's putting the pressure onto Cream and Hong, making more space as Faker lets blow the winds of war. And they will blow down Top Esports. Nobody's left alive. They might have got Gumayushi, but it cost them everything.
Still does not hesitate to press W towards T1. He knows that they will not turn this game around idly by.
Owner over the wall, immediately goes into the Cataclysm. Jackie Love under pressure as Gumayushi pops the Seeker, staying alive for now, needs a little bit more damage. Carrier swoops in behind him. Gumayushi's still alive. Top Esports is not. It's T1 with a full send.
T1 crashes down on Top Esports, and it will be the base that will be next to fall.
Game number 2 will end even more quickly than game number 1. They average nearly 1 kill per minute in this second matchup as 369 will get one back at the very, very end. But he dies on the steps to his own base. T1, match point. Now is available yet again. So Top Esports, they're going to try to commit everybody to this. Doran has already teleported into the area first, but Ornn's about to arrive into the mid lane. T1 get engaged on. Hong's ready to go in, but the hostile takeover over the top tries to keep him alive. Carrier staying up here for a little bit longer. Carrier and Faker are both very low. Faker survives. Jackie Love under pressure. Gumayushi wins the AD carry battle, and Top Esports have already lost 3 men. It's about to be 4. Carrier may have died. Faker may have died, but Top Esports are going to lose everyone. Owner and Doran bury the last one. It's an ace for T1.
Everything, but once that Renata came down, they lost everything.
We're not done though. It's a pick coming in for Top Esports. They find Carrier in the enemy jungler. They catch T1 unaware. Now Faker with a rebuttal. Hong still manages to close the distance here with the dread line, but Owner's ready to show up and offer a little bit of assistance. Cream in some danger now. There's the execution. There's the damage. There's T1. Owner and Faker get one back as Top Esports are still on the retreat. Hong now stunned up by the Pantheon. A little bit more damage from a point-blank Comet Spear, and Owner's unstoppable. Top Esports take the Herald in the meantime, but it's more kills over to T1.
Top Esports looked unsure about what they wanted to achieve.
Greedily jump over the wall and try to start the blue buff. Kanavi finds him there as now Doran coming in. Big collision on Jackie Love, and Gumayushi picks up the free payday.
No flash on the Draven means that T1 can simply run him down.
Oh no, Kanavi! What was that? He jumps into the middle of everybody, and the Comet Spear to execute him. The pressure of elimination in the semifinals is crushing Kanavi as Owner tanks up 369 for the time being. Hong with the pressure onto Guma. Cream goes between worlds, tries to jump in. Gumayushi about to die. The bailout will not save him. Top Esports, they need more now. Cream wants to get out, but the Solar Snare locks him up. Faker gets the return kill as Faker and Carrier duel with Hong and 369. A triple to the Ornn as that will be the execution through the Golden Eclipse for Faker.
For T1, but we return to the Rift as they push on the top side.
Kanavi goes in, but his ultimate doesn't get a lot. Owner with the shield ready to continue the counterattack as Hong will be first to die. Faker takes the kill, and 369's their next target. Solar Snare won't hit him. Ornhorn maybe for the counterattack. 4-man knockup from 369, but it is not enough. T1 still over 2,000 gold ahead. Whirling Death will not find a snipe. The next Drake has spawned. Whoever secures this objective will secure the feats of strength. T1 first to the area, control over the bot side river, trying to defend their control ward. Jackie Love has the axes spinning, ready to step up, try to clear the vision. Cream pincering around, looking to try to cut off T1, coming behind them. Top Esports backing away now on the main front. Cream shows himself, ready to try to enter into the fight now, but a lot of lockdown. Nobody finds the first kill. Kanavi is dead. Cream's next to follow. Top Esports jungler is caught again, and now everyone else has to run. Jackie Love with the flash over the wall just to try to survive. Hong is running. T1, they want more kills. 369 and Jackie get enough distance to get away, but T1 have claimed defeat, claimed the Drake, claimed the tier 1 turret. Otacon's live on the map, and T1's got a 4,000 gold lead at Soul Point. Made it to the semifinals since 2020. It's been 5 years for Top Esports getting back to this point. They've never made it to the finals, and T1 wants to keep it that way. Faker's the target for Top as he tries to get the route to buy himself a little bit more time, but Faker is shut down. Cream's the target now for T1. Flashes over the wall, but Owner's ready to flash follow. Cream dies, mid for mid. Gumayushi with a flash forward, and he's putting arrows into Jackie Love's back. Jackie gets away with a Kimtech blast cone, but the rest of the arrows continue to focus fire. One more volley takes him out, and Gumayushi gets it done.
T1 will not let Top Esports rest. It has been so many years that they've continued to find picks and plays.
And Kanavi again just picking the wrong moments. He goes in, he survives for now, but it costs Hong's life this time instead. T1, he's got to find some sort of a major redemption play. He finds a route onto Keria and nothing more. Now he's marked. Kanavi trying to do something on the side, but it's Hong here on the front line that's taking most of the burst. Owner still in the middle of everybody. The redemption coming in to save him, and the bailout does just that. Cream at least gets one. Hong at 200. Jackie Love trying to fight, but the decimating smash guarantees that he can't. Gumayushi knocked down as we've got a 3-for-2 favoring T1. Faker's not even been in the fight though, and Mel is ready to make her arrival. Cream, the only damage really left for the side of Top Esports. Faker pops the rebuttal, and Keria is still alive. Solar Snare locks up the Ornn, and 369. The countdown's about to hit 0. They're just waiting, trying to stall this out as long as they can. Make sure that he's not alive at all for the Dragon Soul. T1 against the LPL at Worlds. Jackie Love forced to flash over the wall. Doran flashing after. Here comes the Comet Spear, ready to fly over the top of the decimating smash, but Redemption keeps Jackie alive. Maybe the kill from Kanavi, but no. At least Faker should die here through the bailout, so Cream's gonna get the credit on that one, but T1 aren't done. Cream goes between worlds. 369 with a 2-man knockup. Top Esports, they found Gumayushi, but they have to trade Cream. Jackie's still alive for a little bit more damage as Keria, Owner, and Doran want some more. Hong gets almost caught by the hostile takeover, but it's 369 focused instead. T1, their carries might be down, but they still find another kill. Doran goes on a rampage, and the 3 remaining men on T1 knock down the tier 2.
369 survives for so long.
The only play-ins game at Worlds 2025. They eliminated AL in the quarters. They're about to eliminate Top Esports here in the semifinals. Kanavi takes the arrow, and there's no way he's getting away from that one. The Baron secured by T1. There's no neutral objectives to care about on the map right now.
Quarterfinals, semifinals, it does not matter. T1 only see victory.
T1 with the Baron pushing into the enemy base now. Doran happy to tank the turret. T1 continuing their push straight through that mid lane inhibitor. Sidewaves not really set up for a successful multi-lane push. So T1's just gonna keep going straight for the Nexus. Here comes the Grand Starfall, and Jackie's already down. Hong goes with them. The focus fire into 369 as Cream and Kanavi scramble to stay alive, but nobody on Top Esports has anything to stop T1. It's only the mid laner left. They'll get the final kill. And yet again, the highest peaks of the LPL are merely stepping stones for the unkillable Demon King. Faker and T1 have set the stage for the World Finals.
With that victory, T1 secured their 4th consecutive Grand Final appearance. Waiting for them on the other side, a red-hot KT Rolster coming off one of the craziest upsets in Worlds history after taking down Gen G. Now everything leads to this. A telecom war for the ages, a three-peat on the line, a rivalry reborn. Who will claim glory in the World's 2025 Grand Finals? T1 or KT Rolster? Make sure to turn on notifications, subscribe, and stay tuned, because you won't want to miss what happens next. This is OP, and I'll see you in the finals.